I accidentally super liked my boss on a dating app. He called me into his office Monday morning and said he couldn't swipe right even if he wanted to. My thumb slipped while I was scrolling through guys' dating profiles on Saturday morning, and suddenly the premium swipe animation exploded across my screen. "You super liked Connor," the notification announced, and I actually screamed loud enough for my neighbor to knock on the wall. Connor was my direct supervisor at the consulting firm, the man who controlled my assignments and performance reviews. His profile showed him at a charity 5K, the same race where our company had participated last year. The thing that made this worse was that I've had a ridiculous crush on him for 6 months. The way he rolled up his sleeves during long strategy sessions, how he remembered every detail from every meeting, the way he laughed at my terrible jokes during client calls. But having a crush on your boss was something you buried deep and never acted on. Certainly not with a super like that cost actual money and sent special notifications. I spent the weekend spiraling while stalking his dating profile like a masochist. He'd been active Saturday afternoon, then Sunday morning, then Sunday night. Each time I checked, my stomach twisted knowing he'd definitely seen the notification. My roommate found me lying face down on the couch at midnight, laptop open to job postings in other cities. Maybe he'll be flattered, she suggested, but I knew Connor was too professional for that. He once reported himself to HR for accidentally favoriting a coworker's beach photo on Instagram. Monday unfortunately arrived. I got to the office at 6 a.m., hoping to barricade myself in my cubicle before Connor's usual 7:30 arrival, but his car was already there, parked in its usual spot like a threat. I managed to avoid him until 10 a.m. when he sent me a message through Slack. "Need to discuss the Hale account. My office. Now." The walk to his corner office felt like approaching a guillotine. He was standing with his back to the door, looking out at the city skyline. "Close the door, Eloise," he said without turning around. His voice sounded strange, tighter than usual. I closed it and stood near the exit, ready to bolt. "Sit down," he said, still facing the window. "We need to talk about Saturday." My legs gave out and I collapsed into the chair across from his desk. "Connor, I'm so sorry it was an accident. My thumb slipped. I understand if you need to report this to HR, I can transfer departments." He finally turned around and his expression was unreadable. "You super liked me." "It was an accident," I repeated desperately. "I was half asleep, scrolling too fast. I didn't mean to." "Eloise." He sat down at his desk, pulling out his phone. "I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest." My heart was pounding so hard I was sure he could hear it. "When you saw my profile, before your thumb allegedly slipped, what did you think?" The question caught me off guard. What? What did you think when you saw my profile?" He was studying my face intently. "Before the accident, I felt heat rising to my cheeks." "I don't know what you want me to say." "The truth," he said simply, "because I've been sitting here since Saturday trying to figure out what to do about the situation, and I need to know if this was really just an accident, or if maybe, possibly, some part of you meant to swipe right anyway." The office suddenly felt airless. "That's Connor. You're my boss." "I'm aware," he said, leaning back in his chair. "I'm very, very aware, which is why I've been driving myself insane all weekend." He ran his fingers through his hair, clearly frustrated at the situation I caused. "When I saw your profile, I couldn't swipe right." He swallowed like it pained him. "Because I'm your boss. It would be inappropriate. It could ruin both our careers. But you super liked me, and for about 10 seconds I thought maybe the universe was giving me permission, until I realized it was probably an accident." He stood up and walked back to the window. "Was this real? Was he saying what I thought he was saying? But I need to know, Eloise, was any part of it real, or was it completely an accident?" I stood up too, my legs shaky. I took a leap of faith. "If you weren't my boss," I said slowly, "I would have super liked you on purpose. I would have swiped right immediately. But you are my boss, so yes, it was an accident. My thumb slipped because I was nervous seeing you there and I was holding my phone too tight." He turned to look at me, something changing in his expression. "Hope, I'm leaving the company," he said suddenly. "What?" "I got an offer from another company 2 weeks ago. I accepted it Friday. My last day here is March 15th. The room spun slightly. "You're leaving?" He nodded. "Which means in 3 weeks, I won't be your boss anymore." The weight of what he was saying settled over the room. He wasn't my boss for much longer. "So, would you let me take you to dinner on March 16th? "Yes," I said.